So, my adjustable monkey bars were getting a little bit rusty, as you can see. Now, these are steel pipes, so the structural integrity is still strong, but they're just a little unsightly. So I am going to remove the rust, and I am going to be painting them so that they hopefully will not get this kind of surface rust again, being left out in the elements. So, first step is going to be to use a wire brush to remove the surface rust. Wear work gloves for this, because otherwise it'll be just a little You can see dust is coming off of it. It's getting cleaner. This is going to take a lot of elbow grease. This is basically a workout in and of itself. It's like brushing your teeth, but if your teeth were huge and covered in rust and you were using a wire toothbrush. It's not really like brushing your teeth at all, but it does require biceps. Jesus. Alright, after 10 minutes of scrubbing, I've made significant progress on the first two bars. See how these bars are much less dark and crusty than these bottom two bars. So I gotta work on those two now. After 20 minutes of scouring, I've gotten all four monkey bars fairly clean. When I touch this and look at my hand, it doesn't look super red. The ends, they're called the nipples of the pipes, are much rustier, but that's not a touch point for these monkey bars, so I don't really care if they look ugly. I just need to get the middles to be semi-clean. So next will be the CLR. That's right, good old-fashioned, as seen on TV, CLR, which I found underneath the sink in the kitchen. And I mixed it with about 1 to 8 water in a container that we were going to recycle anyway. So, you know, we're staying green here. And got some shop towels. And what I'm going to do is just clean as much more of the rust as I can from the exterior to just try and make it as clean as possible a surface for the spray paint to stick to. Again, I'm going to be focusing more on the touch points. Oh yeah, that looks beautiful. Beautiful. I'm going to be focusing more on the touch points of the pipe as opposed to the edges of the pipe. Although I would like for those to be a little less rusty as well, just in case you have to touch them for any reason. You get to a point where there will still be a bit of surface rust, but it won't be anything that comes off on your hand, and that's pretty much as good as I'm hoping to get it. You know, I'm not seeking perfection, just progress. Alright, done with the CLR now, refilled with clean water, and we're just going to kind of rinse them off. Get all the chemicals off so we have a nice, clean, and eventually dry surface for painting. And a dry cloth just to finish off. And as you can see, after about 30 minutes of really hard work, we got these as clean as we can. Some are better than others. This one's particularly really looking good. But again, the point wasn't really to remove all of the rust. That ship really has sailed. It was to get it as smooth as possible so that we can put the paint on, which is going to be our next step. All right. As you can see, I have everything all set up. I've got my Rust-Oleum spray paint that we had in the garage, thank goodness. I've been shaking it for a while, and I am going to follow the directions on the can because I've never spray painted anything before, so fingers crossed. It says to hold the can about a foot away and spray back and forth, kind of go over it twice. And I'm going to use my little jury rig thingy to kind of get all sides of each of these. Woo! Good thing I had this old sheet that I could use as a drop cloth, because otherwise I'd be ruining my deck right now. All right, one down. And according to Rust-Oleum, this should keep it from rusting any further, so bonus. And it's ivory, so that's kind of classy. Not a typical metal color. All right, looking good. Now it's going to take probably a day to dry. Just want to wipe some of the paint off of the metal bits that we have holding it, but it doesn't really matter if those get painted. So, all right, I'm psyched. This is going to be amazing once it is dry tomorrow. Hopefully the humidity is a little bit high, so maybe it won't be quite dry tomorrow, but we'll, again, keep our fingers crossed. All right, it's the next day. The paint's been drying. Hopefully it's all dry, and now we gotta hang stuff back up. Ta-da! They look amazing. So I got all 4 of the smaller ones, and then as a special bonus, I had my husband take down the long bar. It was pretty well welded onto its hanging hardware, so I had to have him remove that, and I painted it last night. So all of my bars are looking good. Time to mount them. The previous hanging hardware was too small, so I swapped it for what I had on my ropes, which is much bigger. Should have done this from the beginning, but you live and you learn. Presto! much better, much nicer, and my hands are not covered in red rust. Win!